7, and now they were in lower bracket round 1. So if they win this one, they're gonna do even better. I love these kind of stories, and I also love memes as well. So this is it's kicking in. They also have OG in the grand finals here.
I mean, Lacoste, you got a time to actually be able to play against Kuro back in like his heyday, right? Like, what was that like? What did you view Kuro as a player back then?
Well, he was. I mean, I know Kuro since Dota 1 days. Yeah. I mean, we played. We didn't ever played on a team, but against each other. And he was always a cool guy. Always comes, talks to you about a lot of different stuff. His ideas about Dota were always kind of different than the other people. I guess that's why him and Puppy are the only ones who attended the all 9 TIs, because he had different ideas and he's sticking with them. He's not giving up on his opinion.
Yeah, and his dream and his goal to be the first person to take 2. Right, he's very, very close, but so is OG, because after TI7, it was supposed to be a Chinese year, and it turned out not to be. We saw LGD go up against OG, and that was an exciting 5-game series that OG ended up winning, despite having like the roughest time before TI anybody has ever had.
Yeah, that's a true comeback story, I guess, right? Like the ultimate underdogs, basically as if Infamous were to win this TI. Thank you, Liquid Dota Power Rankings. That's what it was. I mean, you weren't stupid to have them that low. It was a fair assumption based off of what had happened to that team. They were completely dismantled, had to be put back together. They grabbed Seb, who, as much as we all love, and of course was a high mark player, people were still just like, can he really hang the TI crowd? I mean, that was definitely the attitude towards it. And he has clearly proven that he has the capability to do that again.
Yes. Has he really proved it? Only.
Yeah. I mean, has he? I don't know.
I mean, has he? Come on. I think he did.
All or nothing.
Running up all the haters up there.
Yeah, because there were, even after they won that TI International 2018, there were still a lot of haters, Cap. There were a lot of people that said, you know what? They got lucky.
The fluke TI.
Yeah, the fluke TI.
Lucky.
People would equate them to Digital Chaos and their run. It's like, oh, great, you figured something out. It worked really well for you, but you'll never see that position again. And somehow, some way, OG, despite even having like not the greatest year throughout the DBC, they were not a front runner or anywhere really close to it. There is probably a long list of teams you would, at least 5, that you would put in front of them, right? Yeah. And they still managed to be the most dominant team upon entering TI. Just destroys the group stage. People are like, oh, well, they're going to get figured out like at some point in time because you've shown all your cards, but they just continue to run through the upper bracket and are now waiting for Team Liquid.
It is almost an unbelievable story, right? And then against them is Team Liquid, who, well,
They're one of the teams that I personally kind of expected to be in the lower part of the bracket, based on their performance throughout the year, especially the end of the season. And here they are. But by playing each single game, they become much, much stronger. You can see the kind of eating meta developing inside their team, and
right? The fact that you had this opportunity to prove yourself, they were kind of looking at it as practice, I would guess, right? Okay, we're a new team. Let's see how we gel together, and then you wind up going right to the finals of the nation. Like it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
You get to figure out whether or not Ranger's a viable hero.
Yeah, they figured
stuff
it out.
like that.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting about these two teams matched up in the finals as well is there's another story about like how OG on their way to a TI run, right, got shattered by players leaving them. And for this TI, Liquid actually have the opposite situation where they, as a team, and mostly Kuro as a captain, had to choose to kick someone. And the interview was really interesting from Kuro talking about that, saying, it wasn't necessarily about the Tama Man. He was basically the victim in this situation where we needed to be able to revitalize the team. And it says a lot about motivation